you know, he gets into office, you were talking about this love affair with the media. One of the things he's going to be remembered for is wading into some really dangerous waters. Were you surprised with Distinct Society in Meech Lake?
I was surprised with everything. The government at the time was jokingly called a government that was all action, no talk. I actually spoke with one of your colleagues, a cabinet minister at the time, who said, you know, when you make a Hollywood movie, you spend, you know, $50 million making the movie, but you might spend 30, 40, 50 million, again, promoting it. We're doing all these good and interesting things, and nobody is promoting it, and nobody is telling the Canadian people that we're doing it. They were controversial, difficult, intractable matters of public policy, and you can't do that without excellent communication, and those two governments didn't have it. So I was indeed surprised at some of the things that were tackled, and disappointed at how poorly they were communicated to the electorate.
We're talking about the highlights of a career and 3 little letters. GST, it's mentioned every time our current Prime Minister lowers it. It is one of the things that a lot of people and a lot of polls say that many Canadians really held against. Mr. Mulroney.
This great contradiction that is Brian Mulroney, and frankly the contradiction that is politics. It's a very difficult business, as others know better than I. But the GST is probably one of the greatest pieces of public policy in Canada post-World War II, one of the top 5, yet it is one of the worst implemented pieces of politics in probably Canadian history. We had a manufacturer's sales tax of about 18%. We had 5 million jobs depending on trade and the manufacture of goods and services. We were one of the few countries that taxed its manufacturers. A value-added tax is, I believe, required for European Union. It's in Japan. I mean, it's like the normal thing to do. Even Ronald Reagan wanted it. And it should not have been visible. To Brian Mulroney's credit, I believe he wanted it to be visible so that future governments couldn't raise a hidden tax. But what happened is tourists don't like it. It is a reminder every time anyone buys a stick of gum that there is this new tax. Nobody thinks, oh, it's replacing a higher tax, and it was preposterously implemented, but a great piece of public policy.
And there was